It's Tuesday, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are times when we go live in QuantWheel. Ivan and I, we talk about the markets, stocks, we're trading strategies, we're building, answering your questions, showing what's new in the product, and much more. Ivan, how was this week?
This week was interesting. Everything is going to crash, and then Monday just things continue to go higher. But I still think it's a very interesting time, both for trading, especially.
Yeah, I still think things are going to crash at some point. Maybe maybe we're both wrong, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry. We both started with very secure strategies, and now with AI, you can earn much, much, much more. We're getting used to it. I think it's time to get back to the basics, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been looking at some other stocks and doing some research. Because as you mentioned, right now is like you have to be careful and do proper research.
Yeah, let me post in our Discord. I see we got lots of thumbs up for the new version of QuantWheel. That's amazing. I think people are gonna like everything is coming up because it's so much fun to build. I'm going to post it. We're live. 1 second. All right, and yeah, so the markets are going crazy. I have adjusted a couple of things in my portfolio, and I'm going to do this also this week and next week. And honestly, I sleep calmer when I do this. I'm going to show you what I'm planning to do, and I already opened some positions. But let's first give QuantWheel update. What's going on right now? What are you working on?
Yes, as we shared with a few people, the review tab, I can quickly show that. I've been getting great positive feedback about it. So let me just quickly share the screen. We are just making sure that this data that you see here is correct and valuable. So it just gives me an overview of all my active wheels. I can filter them by the covered calls or cash secure puts. And in just two numbers, I can see what's my cost basis, for example. And if I want to close those contracts, I can see the cost basis and the chart of the cost basis over time. It's going to come up very shortly. So here, now it's a lot nicer. In 2 clicks, you can get exactly what you need for your wheels, along with your suggested actions that you all know and love. And then, yeah, on the GEX side, we are testing and share with a few folks the GEX hub, along with the GEX flows, to show you like where to look at and where the gamma is accumulating, for example, where are the flows going into. So, for example, in SPY 0DP today, you can see the 744 is a huge inflow of dollars just on that one contract for the day. It's both SPY and SPX. So we've been getting some feedback. People report this gamma build up on the market open doesn't work, as you can see. So they'll fix that and then release it to broader public.
All right. Pretty cool updates.
And then, yeah, and last thing is making sure that the data and the syncs between brokers are super fast. So we know some brokers have delays like Fidelity, but once we get those updates, we need to process them in QuantWheel to display the wheels. And that process can be quicker, and that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, very, very good. Very nice. And if you guys want to look at a little bit more long-term roadmap, you can check quantwheel.com/roadmap or find it in our footer. And I think it's in the header as well. And from the product side, what is coming in the next couple of months, we're working on making the platform easy to help you maximize your income. So if you're not an expert in options trading, it's going to help you understand what you have to do to start, what you have to do if you want to accomplish some certain income goal, and also if you don't have time, if you're busy like us, how to use QuantWheel so that in 2 minutes per day or 2 hours, let's say maximum per week, you do everything you need to keep your income from the premiums flowing. And if you go to the roadmap, you're going to see that Ivan is building options flows. If you're a little bit more advanced, you're going to love that. You already know what it is. If you don't, just Google it. We're going to release QuantWheel mobile app so that you get notified about your options, the same things you're getting on your email. And we're going to increase the number of useful notifications so that you know when to check your QuantWheel, when not to check your QuantWheel. We're going to increase that, and the mobile app is going to help there. We're going to have community strategies in the marketplace, and I think you're going to love that. That's an advantage for any of you who are looking for more ideas. You love your strategies, you have a community, you want to generate more income, you have profile on QuantWheel, and you can just share it with your community and get other people to copy your strategies. If you go to QuantWheel, you can already see some copy traders, but that's about it. Do you have anything to add, Ivan, for now?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Our goal is to make sure the time from getting you onto QuantWheel to getting the results is the shortest possible, and you just can go back to your life.
Yep. Perfect. And next, what I would like to do is to give you guys an update on the markets, and then Ivan can do the same. What I've seen, same as Ivan yesterday, there was a big crash, not like a crash, but short-term crash. And I expected the markets to go down, or actually it was on Friday, if I'm wrong, if I'm not wrong. And I expected the markets to correct a little bit, but I think it's going to happen after the IPOs of SpaceX, Anthropic, and OpenAI. I think we're going to have a correction in the market. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a couple of stocks and what I'm doing with them. Let me open QuantWheel. I'm Ivan, if you want, while I'm opening QuantWheel.
Yeah, I can share one interesting thing I'm looking at right now. I've been trading and wheeling Baidu for quite some time, probably a year. I've noticed this breakout here. This was back in September 2025, and this what I thought was a huge resistance zone. I got trapped into it. I didn't wait for the close on the monthly, but I was gonna turn into resistance and kind of be the cup and handle. But it actually just get rejected. So right now I'm looking at this chart, like on the daily, doesn't look that bullish. But today I just noticed this could turn into some kind of a reverse head and shoulders. And Baidu on its own is quite low market cap, so basically 40 billion. They used to be like Chinese Google, but right now they're doing a lot in AI. They're like releasing an IPO. They're separate company, I think Kulun Sim, and it's gonna be a huge IPO that's gonna probably double their, or actually like 50% increase their whole market cap. I mean, this was announced in January, and it's already known, but as you can see here in the spike. But they do a lot in AI, so they're partnering with car companies for self-driving cars, and it could be an interesting thing. So I'm trying to understand if this is like accumulation here, and if this has potential for like an impulse move to break above this resistance zone. If it does, it's going to be huge. So yeah, I'm just looking at this chart and trying to see if lifts are better or cash secure puts might be a play here. Again, China, it's a bit risky, but this is $40 billion compared to Google or some other hyperscalers in the US that are in the trillions. So the breakout is not that impossible. That's what I'm looking at today.
I think Chinese stocks
what do you think about it?
I think Chinese stocks are super interesting. The only problem I am worried about is faking the financials. If they don't fake the financials, then almost every company that is leading in the China would be triple the valuation in the US. But that's what worries me, if financials are correct and true.
Yeah, it's still, even with fake financials, this is a super low market cap, if you ask me.
Yeah. No,
But yeah, we'll
that's
see. We'll see
100%
what
true.
happens.
For example, I was checking what's the biggest web shop there, or the biggest e-com site besides Alibaba, but B2C.
I mean, there's Pinduoduo, PDD, the Temu in the Western
I didn't
in the Western world.
know there was one other one. Uh, is I think the PE, so PE is very low in China, which and this is more because of the culture of Chinese people. They're very they save a lot of money, that better than anybody. And while in the US, it's consumerism. They just spend everything. So companies there have lower PE and are very high quality. Maybe I should break the ice and invest in the first one. I'm not sure if I ever bought any Chinese stocks.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned, you told me that Xiaomi is a good one.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't even know that you could actually invest into it from the US, and you actually can. So this is an interesting one. It's only
For
like
anyone looking at Xiaomi, and anyone looking at Xiaomi, I would recommend, if you just know the mobile phones or the vacuum cleaners, I recommend look at their cars. You will understand, and the robots. You will understand how low of valuation this is. 89 billion. It would be over $1 trillion in the US. I
yes,
bet.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
I bet it will be a
100%. Yeah, exactly. If like the Baidu with whatever they're doing with AI and chips, if it was in the US, it would be a $1 trillion valuation.
Yeah.
So definitely some undervalued things here, and they're not that hyped up if you're still looking for something.
Does Xiaomi
And
have a
I think
dividend?
I don't think so. They don't even have options.
Mhm.
No dividends, but they have, I
Okay.
mean, bonds. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, now that I look at it, it pulled back even more than from the last time you told me about it. I'll have to take a look more. It's looking interesting here.
All
Okay.
right.
What did you want to share, Luca?
I have a couple of deals here. I'm going to share my screen. So before I started trading options, what I was doing is I would buy a dividend stock when it drops. For example, I would buy Bank of America. Maybe not the best dividend stock, but it has a okay dividend, and it also was cheap. So for example, back here, I would buy it in 26, buy it, and this was one stock I owned, and sell it at 40. And I would repeat that with a couple. I also would buy AT&T and sell it. I would buy it around about 20. I would usually look for at least 50% return, and it will usually take a year or so to get that return. In the meantime, I would get the dividend, and I was happy with this. And I didn't know how to trade options back then. And I'm showing you this. I'm going to do this again, but with options. So basically, you have stocks like Verizon with a really good dividend. And if you sell puts on Verizon, you can see that it's all the time it's stagnating. It's always the same range. So even if you sell a put at 40, if you're 42 and you get assigned, at some point it's just going to go back to 50 in the next. Of course, check mentals, don't listen to me. But if you bought here, would probably be sure that people cannot to pay a bill of Verizon, and that's what I'm looking at. Can you afford not to pay a bill of your internet or device or your phone? You cannot. Same thing with Bank of America. Can you afford? Would Bank of America go bankrupt, or can you afford not to pay, your bank fees? Or Bank of America go bankrupt? Probably not. The government will save it. My philosophy is it has America in its name, even because of the brand American company, America in the name, and it happened before. It has a good dividend, not the huge one, but still has it. And I think banks are killing it these days. It's just going to go up. I would not recommend buying it here now, but at these drops, definitely. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find companies that have big drops, one of which is, for example, JEPQ. It's an ETF of JPMorgan selling covered calls. It has about yearly and about 7%, about 1% monthly approximately. Now it's a little bit less if you look at the total return because it's appreciating. But if you sell, if you would sell options on an ETF that is selling options, which I'm trying to now, would instead of 10% yield yearly, you would get about 20%. And even if you get assigned, you will get a very dividend, and it's JP Morgan. So this is my strategy for today.
This is the Nasdaq. It's tracking Nasdaq, selling covered calls over QQQ basically.
What do you think about the strategy?
Yeah, I was playing with it. I think like a year ago, and it sounds good, but the liquidity usually is very low on this kind of ETFs. So
I sold
it's
some
doable. I do it
puts.
usually on the crashes. It's awesome because you know that like if it crashes, it's okay to get a sign. You'll get some dividends. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know
But yeah, be careful. This is tracking.
why.
This is tracking QQQ. So Nasdaq. If your Nasdaq crashes, this will also lose your money.
Yeah. Of course, with any ETF that is giving you the dividend from selling options, it's basically not. It's just return on. They call it something else, so that they reduce taxes. Buying that stock would be very risky, but if you are very passive and the IV is high, you can earn a nice premium. I'm going to check my brokerage account and tell you which one I sold. So I sold 21st, 59 put. So
Okay.
and it's
That's
not
fine.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 59 put not here, and is around $800 on options. So it's like I think it was 2% in 2 months or in 1.5 month. Until it was about 2.5%. Not much difference than if I bought it. But I also did the same thing with Realty Income, my favorite stocks, and basically they buy properties. Very well managed company, has been here for a long time, always increasing. One of the famous REIT trusts. So selling options on those also works. I think that's what I'm going to focus on. Pick 10 or 20 stocks that have high dividends and selling premiums on them. If I get assigned, I'm probably going to get assigned at a discount. Wait half a year, 1-2 years, sell it at 50% profit again, and repeat. That's kind of like my protection.
Yeah, the dividend stocks are awesome. Like the wheel on steroids, right? When you get assigned, you get covered call and dividend income. As long as you can wait for a long time, It's good.
Yeah. Another
Luca, I'll
thing.
have to drop, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, Ivan, I'm just going to continue, share a few more things. See you later.
See you.
And guys, a couple of more things. On the last stream, we showed a couple of tickers. Robo strategy almost doubled since we showed it to you. We're not fans of giving calls and showing you what we invest, because this is financial advice. This was just luck and knowing who the team behind this stock was. And it's an amazing group of people. It doesn't mean this company, but we have built our own companies, and once you get big enough, success depends on your team, and this company has an amazing team, and I believe this will be huge. Apart from that, apart from the team, any robotics company, any company that's using hardware with or combining AI with hardware, and you can make your research is basically playing in the future. So if you know how the future looks like, you can decide what to invest in. The future looks like essentially producing things is essentially free, because one robot can produce or create another, and because of that, it is not expensive to build a robot army, basically, and make 1 second. It's not expensive to create. If when the time comes when one robot will be able to create another one, it is going to be essentially free for human beings to enjoy the technology, the products, hardware. A lot of money is going to be to producers of robotics, of hardware. Have to be a humanoid. It doesn't have to look like a human being. It could be grass cutter. It could be autonomous vehicle. It can be a logistics center robot which helps Amazon deliver the products. So if you do your own research, last time we were talking about this phases of AI wealth transfer, or better to say of the revolution of AI. First ones is the chip makers, the LLMs, and then you have the infrastructure and energy. Then after that, you have companies that use those to create software. Then you have service companies that are and the software companies, because generating software, producing software, and the code is essentially free. But companies that are using labor and human hours can now use software to produce the same results. They are going to jump high. That's the next phase. If you research those, you're going to win as well. That have basically support staff, huge support staff, huge handles, let's say law offices. In most countries, they cannot go public, but if you find anything connected to the law, anything, the AI can now replace humans. Unfortunately, is going to reduce, it's going to generate more output with less human beings, which is increasing valuations. That's why companies you see right now that fire a lot of stuff do not drop in value but increase in value, because we are expecting the valuations and the profits to increase, and thus valuations to increase, which doesn't mean that it'll happen in the future. But my point is, you can research service as a software company. So they use humans for this, now they use robots or AI. Then after that, what you can check, and ServiceNow example, ServiceNow, Snow, those companies own a lot of data, and they will go high. They already value really high, but there are a couple that you can cover. If you cannot invest in companies like in robotics companies that are not public yet, they will be probably one soon. You find ETF, then invest into to private companies, and then you to be a part of it in public markets. And yeah, then you have robotic parts, and after that, it's going to be so cheap to whether it's software or hardware. So that's my strategy is now a little bit to stop so fast, calm down, think a little bit. Valuations are crazy these days. I will hold CoreWave. CoreWave is one of my favorite stocks. For I'll hold Iron. I'm investing in those for a long time. They're very volatile, all of them. And I'm probably going to buy, not just because I believe in, because I just don't want to hold that many AI stocks. And I will cover calls until I sell it. And yeah, I'm just going on my old strategy: dividend stocks of companies where you cannot afford not to pay the bills. And if you have any comments, I see a couple of messages in the chat. Marcelo and Austin, thanks for joining. Thank you guys. For anybody who is new here, here's how QuantWheel works. This is a demo. When you log in, you should connect your broker. When you connect your broker, QuantWheel is you. What is the amount of money that you have generated so far trading options and stocks? How much money you're missing on? So how much money you could additionally if you were your income, and then QuantWheel is going to show you what to do to maximize your income. So for example, if you have $100,000 in cash just sitting there doing nothing, you can deploy that money into selling cash secured puts on stocks that are very secure. Or if you have a lot of, for example, Apple, you can sell covered calls on Apple while it's stagnating, or as long as it's not growing, so that you earn money on it while you're holding it. So you just click this button. It'll show you a lot of different options that you can see in your portfolio. You can click here. It'll show you the ones that you might like. You can sort them by DTE or yield or difference between stock and strike price. What I do is I buy stock and strike price, see the biggest difference, and I cover the call at around 12% per year, 30 days. And for example, this one takes a long time, so I'm not going to sell this one. But a good option for me here, for example, would be this one. It would give me 12% in 46 days, sorry, 1.5% in 46 days, which is 12% per year. And the stock would need to appreciate 6% in 46 days for me to have to sell it. In case this would happen on the way there, I would sell the cash secured put below the strike price, so I get this stock again in case I have to sell it, and I would repeat that on the way for Apple to go up. So wheel is covered here. If you're a trader, you can find some options to sell. You have all the filters that you might need. So you can create a watch list or use the popular watch lists, select ticker, strategy, filter by options, technicals, and company filters, and then find the ones that you like. You can sort the table, show and hide different columns. We have everything here. If you make a mistake and you want to roll from here, if you want to cover calls, you can do that as well, and then you can see your results and also show off if you want. You can open the journal. This is demo accounts, or each screen is. You can see results in the journal. But the most interesting thing for me is you can find your break-even price, the true cost of your each stock. So if you're basically trading Apple for a long time, you will see that if the price is today 200 or 3, your real cost might be 258 because you have been selling the premium for so long that the true cost dropped. What we're doing right now is making it so easy and so obvious what the true cost of each of your stock is, that you know that you always have to cover the call above the true cost so that you earn money in no matter what. Tools which are very popular, and to see what the market makers are doing, the Gex AI, which explains you means. You can have you have the heat map, max pain, and a lot more. And of course, you can copy others and see what others are doing. This is still being built. If you don't know what they're doing, the start with steady income. If you apply this, all the filters will be pretty just for steady income, aiming at 12% or very low delta secure deals. Of course, this is not a financial advice. It's just to help you get the ideas. All right. If you have any questions, answer or comment under this post or on our YouTube channel. Every live stream is a little bit different. If you have any questions or you want us to cover something next time, let me know. This is going to be a short one so that Ivan and I can work and give you better experience. But we're very flexible on what to present, what to talk about, give us ideas, and we might invite you one. We not invite traders, but in the future, because I think we have an amazing community and people who really know what they're doing, not just random influencers, but people who are really, really good at what they're doing, who maybe will want to show them their faces and talk on the camera.